Section 8 is very much in high demand.
Brian Mullins manages around 100 rental properties. 35 of those are Section 8 eligible.
Personally, I would love to be able to do more Section 8.
But Brian said the process of moving someone with a voucher into a home is slow and costly, leading some landlords to abandon the practice completely. Once landlords find a tenant to move into a unit, they must wait for a housing quality standards inspection, which can take weeks, leaving the home vacant until an inspection is passed.
A lot of people, and I know several property managers, that just don't want to do Section 8 anymore because it simply doesn't make financial sense. Because the amount of time it takes for us to place one Section 8 tenant is probably 2 to 3 times the amount of time that it would take a non-Section 8 tenant to move into a property.
The inspection looks to see if the house and its appliances are operating as designed, making sure the unit is safe to live in. But some landlords say these inspections are too tedious, prolonging the move-in process for tenants and leaving the landlord without income for weeks.
The best case scenario is it's going to be 3 weeks after we submit that voucher, before they'll even do an inspection, to even have an opportunity to sign a lease and to move in.
And if the home does not pass the first inspection,
and we have to fix it and then start the whole 3-week process again to schedule another inspection. Probably 3/4 of the time we're not passing on the first inspection, even if it's super minor.
Where tenants can move into non-Section 8 rentals immediately, Brian said he waits an average of 6 weeks for a tenant to move into one of his units. While he respects the purpose of the inspections, Brian said many of the units fail for reasons that are not safety issues.
The tenant's not able to move in at that point because one little minor thing failed, and so Section 8 stops them from moving in.
Leaders of the Oklahoma Housing Finance Agency, which operates in all 77 counties across Oklahoma, said they are confident they are doing a fair job of putting people in safe, affordable housing. They also said they value their partnership with landlords in the state.
We value our landlord partners 100%. Yes. Without our landlord partners, we would not have a Section 8 housing choice voucher program.
For the agency, it is not the process that is pushing landlords away. Director Deborah Jenkins said property owners could simply get more money by not renting to Section 8 tenants.
So if you know that you can command those rents on the open market, you would much rather just go that route. I look at a unit, I like it, I pay the deposit, and I move in, where you have all of these other hoops to jump through when you're participating in the Housing Choice Voucher Program.
And the agency has an explanation for the wait times.
We normally schedule 2 weeks out because we've had owners and clients that say, well, I can't get off work or I have a prior commitment and things like that. So we use a 2-week rule to schedule those out.
And also an explanation for why the inspections are so thorough.
I believe when you're listening to the list of items that we're routinely failing units for, they're items that you or I would want to make sure are operable or, exist in a unit that's not being assisted.
In December, the Oklahoma City Housing Authority said they had seen an increase in the number of landlords stepping away from accepting Section 8. But this isn't just happening in the metro. The Oklahoma Housing Finance Agency said this is a trend all across Oklahoma. And without incentives for landlords, finding Section 8 properties could become even more difficult to those with a voucher.
I'm afraid that me and my sister's just going to be homeless, trying to wait for this approval, trying to wait for these Section 8s, these landlords and everything else.
Rebecca Nunez and her sister Eleanor are surrounded by boxes in their apartment. They have 30 days to pack and find a home after having problems with their previous unit.
They have to fill out a form. You have to send it in to the company. They have to get a hold of you and the landlord, do a walkthrough, tell the landlord what's wrong, what needs to be fixed. And then about 2 weeks later, they have to redo the walkthrough and see if these things were fixed. And then, you can move in.
Now they're up against the clock, fearing the lengthy inspection process could leave them without a roof over their head.
Yeah, 30 days ain't gonna cut it.
And while landlords say they enjoy offering rentals to those with housing choice vouchers, they say the process is driving them away.
Some of our Section 8 tenants are some of our best tenants. So it's not the people, it's the system to get the people into the unit.
So what's going to happen next here? The Oklahoma Housing Finance Agency said they are always open to feedback from landlords and improving operations within the agency.